Hi everybody, this is Pramita here, and today we're going to do a little project, kind of a wraparound flip pocket sort of thing. So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so I have adjusted the camera. Please ignore this mess because it is really messy. I need to clean this up, but it's always I'm stalling, and when I don't know when I'll have the time or the push. It has to be either of those that I will clean up the mess that I have around here. It's not too much, but it is what it is. So let's begin what I am planning on showing today. It's a very easy project. You just need one sheet of paper. It can be any paper. It if it's not directional, it's better. And I would not advise to do this with cardstock paper. It's best done with printer paper because it will flip over, and I'll show you what I mean by this. Now this is the traveler's notebook that we were working on, and look how chunky it has turned out. And I'm super happy with this. I just need to finish the other one, and then I'll do an official flip of these two. They will be available in my shop, and when I was working on them, when it's nearly complete, I just I just fell in love with it. I wanted to keep one of these for myself, but probably I'll make another one. And these were the snippets we had made off camera, on camera, I don't remember exactly, but definitely we had made some of these. And the cover is nearly done of the other one. Let me show you. I guess it is somewhere here. Yeah, it is here, but it's not exactly same. It is a little bit different. These were the cards that we created using these elements, mini masterboard sort of look. So I had just glued this one on top, and these are the flowers that I used. These are in my pink fussy cut flowers thing, and I just need to add a bit of a label, which I have kept somewhere here. I'll eventually get hold of it when I'm cleaning up some of the stuff, and it's going to be added there. I don't know where it is. Somewhere hiding somewhere here, and it can't hide forever. It has to pop up somewhere. So I'll put a label, something very similar to this one, the one that I've used over here. The other part of this label I will add either here or here somewhere, most probably over here. And this is also the back belly band sort of thing, and this is the cover. And I just need to add that flip over pocket that I was talking about. So I'll show you what I mean by this. So this is the flip pocket, and I have a long tag going inside the pocket, and this is just a tuck that I created with some music paper, some vintage printable envelope, and I've just wrapped the paper in, and I'm going to show you how you can do this very easily on the other journal that the cover that I had shown. So this one is nearly complete. I just need to back the journal cards. Others are nearly done. So this is actually a collage sheet that is available in my shop. This is set 1. I'm going to come out with quite a few sets. So currently this is on sale. The collage sort of sheets, they come in sets of 3, like 3 pages, and they are very versatile. I have designed them in such a way anyways. So I have come out with a second set also, so if you want you can check that also. And as I said, these are all on sale currently. I'm just taking off the white bit, and only thing we're going to do is no more cutting, no more measuring, nothing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pocket over here. So what we'll do is this is going to be, now this page is a little bit tall because the one that I had done before was in the portrait format, but this one is landscape format. But it doesn't matter because your pocket can be small, big, whatever. But one thing is for sure, your pocket should not exceed the length of the folded out page. So in this case, what I've done is I've just taken 8 by 8 inches paper, because this is a traveler's notebook and it was a little bit more than 8. So I have folded this part because I had this intention I would probably do some kind of flip page. So that was the idea. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just tucking this in, okay, and I'm just guesstimating how big or small I want this pocket to be. So I would not want this to exceed more than this. So I'll just, okay, so as you can see, this is just simple folding, nothing else. And when I'm going to glue this down, you don't even have to sew this. I did sewing because I like to sew, as you know. You don't have to, there is nothing else have to. So this is going to flip over. I am going to glue this slightly and then sew, okay. So this is like so, and the extra bit that we have, we're going to fold this, as much as possible. So I'll probably make it into a small tuck. So what I can do is I don't want this more than this, so I'll just keep it at this, okay. Just maybe a little bit more because I want the birdie to show through. So that's it. This is your wraparound pocket, okay. So what will happen is this will flip open. This is a pocket, full-size pocket, and then this will close, okay. If you want, you can add another pocket over here, vellum, fabric, lace, whatever. I'm not doing that. And then when you flip over, here's going to be another pocket. If you want, you can make it a sideways tuck, or you can make a lengthwise pocket also, whatever suits your fancy. So probably I'm going to cut this up because this is too thick. It's going to eat into the paper a bit, so I don't want that. And so that's the only thing you need to cut off, nothing else. And that's also only because this is a landscape orientation. If you had a portrait orientation, I'll show you what I mean by that. Just a second. If you had a paper which is portrait orientation, meaning lengthwise, then you wouldn't have to cut it down also if you are using in a traveler's notebook. If in another sized journal, then it's different. It's different in all sizes basically. So it's totally up to the size you choose. Now I have kept a little bit over here because I'm going to stitch that part, okay. So that's going to be a tuck spot, and then we are going to glue this part up. So we have folded this into 3 parts. They need not be equal, but I have just kept them like this. So what I can do is I can just glue this part up, and later on I can stitch this. So for now I'm just going to glue this. So I need to bring out some glue sticks also. So how is everybody doing? If you are new to my channel, then welcome, and if you've been here for a while, then welcome back, and thank you for being here. If you have just subscribed, thank you again. And if you have not yet subscribed, then I would request you to subscribe. Think of subscribing and hanging in there, okay. So I have glued this down, I will go through my sewing machine over here. I'm going to fold this part up, and this is the part, this is the section which is going to be folded over. Okay, so I'm going to run my sewing machine through this. It's totally up to you. As I said, if you want, you can stitch it. If you don't want, you can just simply glue it around here, and it's going to work the same. In that case, do not use a glue stick. Use a more secure adhesive. And here what I'll do is, since, as I said, I'm going to stitch everything, I'm going to glue this part, because this is going to form the lip of our pocket. Okay, so this is this and this. So our pocket will be this one, and this part I'm going to trim off. So after I stitch everything, I'm going to trim off. Now, to hide the sewing over here, I had created a side tuck, which we can obviously do if we want to. But first things first, let me sew this part up so that I have this pocket, and then also sew this part, this side up, not to the page, but only the paper, and then I can sew the top and the bottom part. So I'll be back after I have stitched this, and I'll come and show you what I mean by this. Okay, so I am back and I have sewn this, and I'll show you what I mean by this. I have not sewn the entire thing so that I can explain this to you. It might seem a little bit tricky, but it is not, honestly. It's just adding a fold to your extendable page or whatever. So this is our pocket. Okay, I have not stitched the bottom part, because when I'm going to stitch, I'll stitch this pocket also, and this is just a flap right now. Unless and until I stitch this, this is not going to turn into a pocket. So what I did was, I'll show you in this journal. I added this pocket, this side tuck, because I wanted to hide the sewing. I didn't like the sewing, so I did this process. But you don't have to if this sewing doesn't bother you. But I wanted to hide this sewing because it was sort of in the midway, it was not towards the end. So that is why I wanted to cover this up. So probably I'll do the same over here. And right now I just need to stitch these two sides, not this top, because this is going to be our pocket, top pocket. So from here I'm going to sew this, and this one I'm going to sew right at this end, so that I can have a closed bottom. I don't want anything to fall down through the open ends. And regarding the edges, I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Okay, so now we have our pocket done, and I need to add something over here once I finish sewing the bottom part and also the top part of this side tuck. But I can easily glue this down and keep it it can be a side tuck, it can be a top loading one. I think I'm going to go with the top loading one because this is very close to the fold over here. So if I want to put something, it's going to be a tight fit, so I'd rather go with the top loading pocket. But that one had a side loading one because there was only a little bit of paper left. So I will make this into a top loading one similar to this. So right now I just need to stitch through the bottom part, that's it. And this one I'm going to glue because I don't want the sewing to show through on the other side. Okay, so I'll just stitch the bottom part and I'll be back to show you what I mean by this. So I have stitched this pocket down, so these two are going to be top loading pockets, but I need to glue this side. So I'm going to use my wet glue, and I'll also show you how you can create a side tuck sort of thing over here. So this was just simply not necessary. I don't know what came over me. I could have just sometimes things like this happen, you know, you plan something, then something else strikes, and then you decide to change the plan. It happens so often, but anyways, it's nice that things work out at the end. If that's the best, you know, if it works out, then it's good, then it's okay. So what I'll do now is I'm going to create a side tuck over here. This time I'm not going to be using music paper because I don't want this to look too same or similar. So I can use some scrap that I have, or I can use this ledger paper that I have, because I don't want this to look very grungy. Okay, and also another thing, I want to layer this up. Layer this up meaning I want a little bit of an edge. So what I'll do is, this is going to be a tiny tuck. It's not necessarily it has to be a big one. So I'm going to use this, and for the background I can use this paper. So just a little hint of the scripty thing showing through. I'll just show you what I mean. I'm going to take off the excess. You can just simply skip this part if you find it too overwhelming or anything of that sort, but it's how my brain works. So I like to add little things here and there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I don't need this part. Okay, so I'm just going to tear off this part and just make sure that I need only this much. So from here to here I need a little bit more, so never mind. So this is basically what I want. Okay, so if I want this much, this is just around an inch. Okay, so if it's an inch, then you'll see what I mean by this. This is like creating an illusion of double pocket, but it is not so. Okay, so this much is all I need. Okay, so I'm going to take this. So on this side I have used the, you know, the serrated or whatever you say, deckled edge ruler, but on the other side I have not done that because it's going to lay flat on this side, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to add this on this side, and on this side I will make sure that the dark paper peeks through a little bit. I don't know if you can make out what I mean. So I'm going to glue it in such a way that you can see the dark thing a little bit more. And I need to change my ink dauber also, the sponge I mean, but since it's working, it's working. You know how it is. You can make them work till the very end, until it falls apart. Look at the sponge. It's really gross, but it's still working, and it's working pretty well. So I'm just inking the entire length because I know I will not be needing this much, but anyways, let me figure this out, how much I need, and then we're going to trim this. Okay, so again I'm just going to take my ruler. Okay, so this is all I need. Okay, but I will create that illusion of having a layered look. Okay, so what I'll do is see. You can create layered look like this. I have not done this in the other pocket, but I thought of showing another technique of layering with light and dark colors. So I can go over the ink later on also. Right now what I'll do is I'll just, so this is the deckled edge and this is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to glue this part up with the glue stick, and then I will run my sewing machine. And I just want the deckled edge on this side, not on the other side, so, but you can do that also, but I want to keep this very narrow. Okay, and then I'm going to take this. I will keep a little bit on this side in case I change my mind, but so this is how you can create layers using light and dark shades of the same color palette basically, because they are beige and browns and stuff like that, so you can do that. So only thing I need to do is ink, and then you can simply put it over here. Okay, now I can decorate this part. I can put labels, I can put floral images, anything I want, but I think I'm going to keep it this way. So for this, what I'll do is I'll just stitch all around, and then I'm going to attach this over here. So I'll stitch all around and I'll come back to show you what I mean by this. Okay, so I have stitched this part, and now I can either glue this directly over here or I can stitch it. It's totally up to you what you want. But what stitching does is it flattens these edges a little bit. So I will you know, I'm not going to stitch over here, because then this side will have another stitching line. I don't want that. I'll just glue this. If you are more you know, keen on having a sewn in look, then you can definitely sew this, but I'm not going to sew this anymore because I've done the sewing part. Now I just want to glue this, so I'll just glue this and then let this dry. You can add so many textures and layers in your journals, and so if you want, you can add another layer if you want to. Like, it's doable, but it's going to get thicker and thicker, so you have to be cautious about that. So I'm not going to put too much of glue because I'm going to paper clip this for a while, and then it is going to be set. Okay. Okay. I just did a video on the new kits that I have in my shop, and I also have to grade some papers. I have to take, you know, have lunch. I haven't yet eaten anything, and then I have to take another class. I'm super busy but still things have to go on. So here again I have this pocket, and if you want you can cover this part up also with a little bit of collage element. So let's do that and show you how you can jazz up your simple pages with little collages, or little strips, you can say. So what I'll do is, I don't want to cover the bird entirely, and because this was not the plan, I did not plan on closing this side up. But anyways, let's not go over there. There is always a change of plan. So I'm going to keep this script part. What I'll do is I'm going to take off from here, okay, and I'm going to okay. So what I can do is, again, I can ink, and then I can lay this down. This is just like adding more dimensions to your pages, okay? So you can do that. So what I'll do is, I'm going to be adding something like this. And over here I can always put some labels or something of that sort. I can put it this way, okay? So I'll just ink and add this. So again, this is this journal is not going to be identical to the one that I've done. It so often happens, and today I will probably do a lot of fussy cutting. I am working on the custom journal, and I need to finish that also. But I have so little time. I wish the days would have been longer, but I woke up at 4:45. I had a class from 5:30, and oh my god, something fell. Oh, that paper scorer, trimmer, whatever I have, that's that, and I hate that, trust me. That is one of the most foolish purchases that I've ever done. So I wanted to hide this sewing, which is really pointless, and I can probably add a label or something later on. So I'm going to do that. Why later on? I can do it right now. I can just take off the stamp from the same paper, and I'm going to be adding over here. I so knew it was going to fall. And I do not like the blades of that machine. I don't know why. It's just something that I don't like. Okay, I'm going to glue this down and sort of something. Yeah, so that's it. And we have 2 floating pockets as well as a side tuck for one of them, and we are done. And now I need to stitch the journal and decide on which ephemera is to go into which pocket, and then we are good to go. So probably I'll show an update in the next video. I will be making, no, I don't think I have to make any more ephemera for these. So yeah, but I can always add something over here. Okay, we'll see to that. So I love how these papers have gelled into the papers that I have used. Sort of, that was the idea, you know, when I was designing these collage sheets. I wanted them to go with basically any botanical kit that you're using, so that you can make your own stash of envelopes, your journal cards and stuff like that. So that's that, and here is our journal, and I just need to tuck this in. So this is how it's going to look. Just so I can fold this any way I like. I can put it this way, or I can put it this way, whichever way. So I think I'm going to go with that. Sorry, I need to have another paper over here. Yeah, so I want to do it this way, and then I need to put another paper. Yes, so I'm going to keep it this way. So this is the journal. I just need to stitch this, and I know you people would not be interested in knowing how I stitch my journals because it's all the same. I have shown things like this before. So this is going to be the cover, okay, and I'll add all the journal cards inside, and then you will see how it bulks up like this one once I put everything in, and see how fluffy and filled out it looks. So I will do the stitching and put in the journal cards. I'll back them with tea stained papers, and then I will be back to show you the updates on these two. And I also have to show you what I have done in the meantime. I have stitched the folders that would go in, like they will have 3 pockets inside, and they will have a collage element on the top. I'll show you how I embellish the folders once I finish working on the journals. That's going to come last. So I'll show you how I plan on decorating this. These are made from cardstock pattern papers, 12 by 12 sheets. I have just cut them down to, you know, to the size of the journals, so that you can, if you're using a traveler's notebook, you can just string them together. You can stuff these with ephemera pieces and take them along with you. And if you're not using them in your TNs, you can still tie these up with the, you know, closure that they will have, and then, you know, take them on the go. So that's the idea. So this is how it's looking. It still needs some work. I'll finish and I'll get back to you then. Bye everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.